Well, good morning from the ridge.
Good morning.
Yeah. In the house again. Why are we in the house?
It's a bit brisk out there, guys, and as much as we want to, go sit outside and be by the chickens and enjoy, it is beautiful sunshine, as you can kind of see the reflections coming through. But it's cold, so all you'd hear is us sniffling the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to warm up by this afternoon, though, which is awesome. We're ready for the warmer weather, but...
Oh, I'm over the cold. I mean, I'm not complaining because it's way better than Michigan cold. But I'm just ready. Very.
Yeah.
Feeding time for the cats.
Well, and it's so confusing this time of year, your brain, obviously, you look at the calendar, hey, it's February, it's supposed to be cold, right? But we've had days where it'll be cold in the morning, by that afternoon or evening, you're in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But then the sun will go down below the trees, and you're back to putting your jacket on. So,
I'm ready to hang clothes outside on the line. Instead of, I love having the dryer, but there's just something about, hanging my clothes out on the line that I prefer to do. I got a whole rig system up. I'm going to take off the deck and do a pulley way out in one of the treetops. And then I can pulley it in and pulley it out just from the deck. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, the way the Amish put it to the top of their barns.
Yeah.
But we'll be going downhillish.
A little.
Well, once we get a lot of the trees, that's something too, I was really hoping to already have a lot of trees and clearing done.
We were already hoping to have a lot of stuff done. Oh. Well, we did get a lot of stuff done.
We did, but
we have dreams of so much more.
Yeah, initially my thought for this winter, because we had talked about it all this last summer, was getting it cleared out so we have the view down into the valley coming off the ridge, but... priorities. And we have to remind ourselves that we've only been here... Sorry, I'm looking and that hook is crooked, but... we've only been here a year. And... we're coming into our second spring now, which is exciting. What is it? Is it tulips that are popping in your garden already?
And crocuses, daffodils, yeah.
Yeah, so those are already popping up. The garlic.
Mm-hmm.
We did that experiment, in the fall, right? And the end of the growing season took some...
Walmart
organic, right? So it should be... And we planted it, and y'all...
Yeah.
It's growing.
It is way cheaper than ordering garlic bulbs from somewhere. Now, if you've been here a while, you know that last spring I went to take care of my aunt back in Tennessee for a hip replacement. And we have family garlic that last year it was, 105, 108 years old?
Something, 108, I think.
Yeah, from the mother plant. And I harvested a complete huge batch of garlic to bring back to the ridge, and it grew wonderful. It bulbed out wonderful. It was amazing to have that legacy here on the ridge, but then I didn't store it correctly because it's one of those things. You grab a container, you put it in, and then you think you're going to come back a minute later and transfer it over into the proper container, and then you forget and you don't. And
no, not around here. Yeah. We're on top of everything.
Yeah, and the bulbs molded, so they weren't any good to replant. But when we go back to Tennessee, I will grab even more.
Well, and we found out when we dug up the garlic beds to kind of fluff the soil, amend it a little bit before planting this Walmart garlic.
Yeah.
There actually is still some of that, but we don't know which ones they are. So it was
Well, I think we may be able to find out, because I think one is long neck and one's soft neck. So I might be able to know.
Is that like the movie? I'm a long neck.
What movie?
That's Land Before Time.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh my.
But so we're really excited to see that start popping.
But I'm a 3-horn. No?
Okay.
Oh my Lanta. You all know what I'm talking about. Somebody's got kids out there.
Well, maybe it's because, my kids were just a tad bit older. We were doing Veggie Tales and And
I think
Blue's
actually
Clues.
I was probably closer to being a kid when that come out. Well, maybe my kids were young. I don't know. I remember watching it because I always liked that movie too.
Well, I'm way
back then.
older than you.
Oh.
So, it's funny because I'll be like, oh, babe, remember this song back in the day? Oh, wait. No, you wouldn't remember.
But most of the time I do. I might not have been alive when it came out, but I heard it at some point. So.
The joys of being a cougar.
I got no complaints.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, and we're still getting into the swing of things.
Yeah.
We're enjoying that you all are coming and watching this. And I know these ones here where we're just kind of sitting, it's not as exciting. But like I said, it's cold. And we're sissies when it comes to the cold. Like, I don't want to be out in it. We have the gear to be warm, but then you can't move around as well. And if you guys go back on the main channel and look, you'll see where we're like, we're going to do this, and this. And then none of that got done because we got distracted and did something totally different.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming out. Our brains are really on overtime because we're in our brains trying to manage the 2 weeks we were gone with the stuff that still needs done here. So, but we do have some exciting things coming up in the next couple weeks. Probably Wednesday or Thursday, we might have baby bunnies from Janet. So, getting another batch of that. And we're going to be getting back on the sawmill. Going to be making some lumber for the YouTube studios. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping to mill some today if we can, but some of the other stuff needs to be done first. And that is a bonus of this channel. You guys will get a little bit of probably bean spillage, behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what we love. And it's hard to keep track in your brain when you're shooting multiple videos at one time. It probably took us a good half hour this morning to just sort footage because we were filming multiple videos, but at one time because it's going to come out in a different type of series. So yeah, but the greatest thing, and don't take this as complaining or anything because we are loving it, that the greatest thing is we're still having fun.
Yeah.
But you have to take that time to breathe.
You're having squirrel moments.
I'm having the varnish of this top. The sun is hitting it just right to where I'm getting blinded like a mirror.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's today. We're gonna work on some domestics. Chores and stuff have already been done this morning. I do have to go water, like give the chickens more water later on, but I have to wait for a water line to thaw out. And then you'll have a little bit. I did notice, so we have our greenhouse, guys, and hopefully you're following on the main channel. No, we did the cattle panel greenhouse, and we covered it with 6 mil plastic, and it lasted. We did that last year, and it lasted a season. Part of it, I'm gonna blame us that it only lasted one season because we were leaving for a trip and set up regular sprinklers instead of plant sprayers or a drip irrigation system, and the water spraying on there every morning, and then the sun hit plastic. It turned that plastic super brittle. And it's just regular like visqueen plastic, so it's not a UV rated, it's not anything like that. And the sun is brutal on it. Well, there is a door.
Yeah.
The one door that I'm like, that plastic's good, I don't need to replace it there. And yeah, now I need to replace it. So I still have more plastic, which is fine. I actually have the other piece left from...
Well, one thing I know that I need to do today is, before we left, I'd ordered grow lights for the greenhouse. And I want to get those in the greenhouse. I think that is going to help immensely as well. Because Missy's, I have a few things popping, but I really need more to pop. Missy and I planted about the same time, and she's got lots of pops. There again, I know we were gone for 2 weeks, so I couldn't baby them. But
well, and they're also, for their point and purpose of growing, they needed a way better setup than we have. And they do. I actually got to check it out when I went over there, and it is, but they're in a climate-controlled building. with the lights and the heat mats and that kind of stuff, and it's insulated. As to we're doing it, even though it's a greenhouse and a greenhouse right now, we do have the heat mats. I think the lights are definitely going to add a good element to it. But we're also, when it freezes out, it freezes in the greenhouse because we don't have any heat source in there. And
I mean, I'm going to give those original ones about a week and a half to 2 weeks under the lights. If nothing in those trays pop, then I'm going to replant everything that was in those trays. Because, y'all, I need plants. Yeah.
Like 19 million more tomato plants?
Maybe. Yeah. So just our brains are like, oh, we gotta do this.
It is, and that's the hard part. I think really is just getting your brain to shut off when you know you have so many projects. Like we're itching, and I think almost daily we're almost begging to have the studio done to give us more administrative workspace and the food storage and that kind of stuff, like the things that it's going to serve. Plus, by doing that, that's going to open up, which it does add one more task, right? But we're going to be able to start doing our merch and kind of playing around with that stuff.
I'm so excited to do the merch.
We have events coming up soon that
we need the merch for.
If the studio's not up, we're going to have to kind of put an alternative plan and utilize the trailer that all the shirts and stuff are stored in right now, because it is an enclosed trailer. I can set a table up in there, I guess, and we may throw a light in it and just have to work out of the trailer. Yeah. Because I can get power to it.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the beauty of our partnership is we've never told each other anything's impossible. You know, for years prior to me and Jason being together, if I had an idea or a thought or a plan, it was, oh, that'll never work. That'll never work. You can't do that. And it's so refreshing and beautiful to come up with a plan or come up with an idea. And all he says is, well, let's figure it out. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, and
it goes both ways. Because
right.
I'm like, yeah. Like it is. It's kind of cool. Adapt and overcome. And what we're doing here on the homestead, we've run into that a lot. And we'll probably continue to run into that. And we don't get mad over it.
You have to live in this lifestyle. I don't remember exactly how the phrase went, but, you know, there is an old saying, you know, about farmers and inventions. Like, that's how a lot of things were invented, was because, you know, back in the beginning of times, you know, the farmers, well, they started growing just to feed themselves, because if you didn't grow food, you didn't eat. And then, you know, they were able to, if they could grow enough, then okay, maybe they can make a little bit of money by selling some of the overcrop. But yeah, and I know that there's a phrase or an adage or something about like with the farmers of, you know, just out of necessity, but then it's one of those
10 hours later.
I just had it on my tongue, y'all.
Anyways.
Invention is developed out of necessity.
Invention's the mother, or necessity is the mother of invention.
Sure, that sounds about rightish.
Well, chapter 2, once we finally got there, babe.
Welcome to my brain. This is how it goes, y'all. Like we are totally open and honest about all this. But yeah, it's
point of the matter is, when you have a homestead, you adapt and overcome, and you figure stuff out as you go, because that's the beauty of it. And when you have somebody that is supportive, and you know, I think also not having a fear of failure. I think the fear of failure for a lot of people stops them from following their dreams.
It's paralyzing.
Yeah, and it can paralyze someone. And for some reason, I was not born with the fear of failure. I laugh at myself when I fail. I chuck it off and, okay, well, that didn't work, move on. And so anything becomes possible when you lose that fear of failure. And between the two of us, it's almost dangerous.
Well, it is, because even like she was saying before we got together, that was one of the things that, you know, with me being in the Marine Corps, you're set to such a high standard on everything that you do that there's a lot of people that literally become paralyzed of fear of failure. Like, they don't know how to handle it, they don't know how to accept it, and they don't know how to adapt from it.
Or they don't even try.
And so I've always looked at it where I've never had that fear of failure. I expect failure. I look forward to failure.
It's learning.
Because you learn. And that's been in a little, I guess, adage or motto, whatever, that I've carried for a lot of years was, and I got it from somebody else. There was some old timer was talking to a group of us and, was like, judge your day by being successful or not successful as what did you learn something today? And that's how we, and I think that's what's made our relationship and our bond and everything that we do together so successful, and so refreshing, because we look forward, to those learning moments, and people focus so much because, well, I had to fail it at first. Well, don't focus on the failure. Like, what did you learn from it? Yeah. And then go back and redo it again. And then that's where most of the time, at least for us, we get to laugh at ourselves later because we'll do something and we've made it way more complicated than it needed to be.
Because we overthink it.
And then we go back and it doesn't work that way, or it's taking too long. And then finally we're just like, let's just do it this other way. And it was 10 times easier. It went way better. And, it's one of those, like, if this lifestyle of homesteading or being self-sustainable is something that you're looking at you doing, we encourage you 100%.
Yeah. And
don't be afraid of failure, because if you are, you're not going to get anywhere. Mm-mm. And I had something way more words are hard, y'all.
It's okay, honey.
I had a big thing, and it was.
That's the problem. You have a lot of big things in here right now, and
they're rattling and.
Yeah, it's hard for him to stay on focus. Here,
focus?
Drink more coffee.
Oh, I don't want that coffee. I drank my coffee. That might be part of my problem is I've drank 2 cups of coffee. I'm like...
Yeah. And what I love about these talks is we never know which direction they're going to go. But apparently someone out there needs to hear, don't be afraid of failure. Because you don't think it wasn't scary selling everything we own and moving to a state we knew no one? Yeah, it was pretty scary. But our dreams were bigger than our fear. And when you make that your option and your choice, anything is possible.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's all about your will and determination. And, if you want it done and you want to do it, then do it. Sometimes you have to step back and figure out what those steps look like to get there, but it's totally attainable. And I was actually having a conversation yesterday about, everyone, I've heard this phrase most of my life, right? And I heard it a lot in the Marine Corps. Someone asks you, how are you doing? Oh, living the dream. Living the dream. And it's just, there's no meaning behind it, but you just, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. Well, what is the dream? And every person's dream is different. And that's where, like, typically when you're in a bad situation, you're like, I'm living the dream, but it's somebody else's, not mine. And, but through that conversation, I think it was yesterday or the day before, realized that we are living the dream. Mm-hmm. We're living our dream.
Our dream.
And this, to be able to do the things that we do when we want to do them and how we want to do them. And, I'm not going against anybody that has to punch a clock and make ends meet. Like, we were both there before. Mm-hmm. We understand that. But the life that we live now truly gives the true meaning of, when someone asks, how are you doing? And it's a heartfelt, I'm living the dream. Like, literally living, because 10 years ago, this was just a dream. Even longer probably
10 years ago, I was on my first dream, building my original homestead in Ohio.
And, well, I was still in the Marine, wow, where did time go? 10 years ago, I was still in the Marine Corps. I was a year out from retiring. So, it's almost been 10 years. What happened?
Nah, I don't know. I somehow hit 50, and I could have sworn yesterday I was 40.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But
time flies when you're having fun, and that's...
It is, and we are we're having a blast, guys. And, you know, there's frustrating moments because there has to be, but they're learning moments. Like I learned yesterday with the logs to just slow down, quit trying to get in a rush, take your time, do it, you know, and I got them all moved. And
in case you're wondering, we do leave our fails in the videos. So if this, because it's part of it, it's reality. So, but we better get to work. We've been chit-chatting way long enough. We got stuff to do.
She's just relentless, yo.
Somebody has to
she
keep
just
us
wants
on.
to see me doing dishes is all it is.
I ain't complaining.
She's gonna be over there. I'm like, why aren't you editing? And she's over there.
No, I only do that when you're cutting down trees and you're dressed like a lumber snack.
Oh, get out of town.
I'll pull up a chair and a glass of wine just for the show. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, blessed day. We appreciate y'all really promoting this channel and giving us an opportunity to sit down and just, you know, bull crap with y'all.
Yeah.
And just have a one-on-one. Welcome to our kitchen. We're sitting around a little table, the island, and we're enjoying this. We're having fun with it.
Yeah, and if there's something you guys want to know, I mean, obviously within reason, you know, throw it in the comments because I think what's going to happen with some of the changes that we're going through right now, because there's so many of you, is we may start using this platform as
Q&A.
The Q&A of, you know, because we love getting the questions, we love the comments, all of your support, all of those types of things, and how, you know, we can make a list and print it out or write it down, whatever, of all the questions, and then use this to kind of give you, you know,
or do it on our live too.
And sometimes it's easier saying the question than it is typing it.
We were wrapping up.
Yeah, she's wrapping it up, guys.
We're wrapping it up.
I'll go all day long.
He will. He will.
What happened?
But I love you.
Hit the end button.
Okay.
No.
All right. We're wrapping
Bye,
it up,
guys. We love you.
Bye.
See ya.